Okay, individual task outcome is referring to the quantity. For example, what we evaluate. When the managers evaluates their employees' performance, they evaluate in terms of individual task outcome, in terms of behavioral, and in terms of traits. In terms of individual task outcome, they look at the quantity as well as the quality. For example, quantity or quality sales, sales referring to quantity and also quality. Behavior in terms of how prompts the candidates or sorry the employees in terms of submitting the reports or the jobs, the tasks, and so on. Traits can be in terms of attitudes, whether good attitudes or showing confidence, or any traits that correlate with a positive task outcome. That's mean traits that relate to this positive task outcome. So who should do the evaluating? Traditionally, the manager evaluate the employees, but today is a bit different. Nowadays, it's not just managers; it can be those around the employees. So those around the employees, such as peers, such as subordinates, and employees, others employees around the employees or around the person that been evaluated. So nowadays, many organizations use 360 degrees evaluations. 360 degrees evaluation is based on the geometry. You remember when you study geometry, these lines were on 280, so those line is the rest is 180. So if we want to refer to this here, so half of this line on the tops, for example, on the tops is belong to 180s. Down this horizontal line is another. Down on the horizontal line is another 180s. So altogether 360 degrees evaluations. So that's mean they use all people around the employees that been evaluated. So it can be from the managements, it can be from the direct supervisors, it can be from the suppliers that this candidate or these employees deal with, it can be the customer or the clients that these employees maybe entertain. It can be department members, that means can be co-workers, can be subordinate, can be team members, can be subordinate, can be around these employees. So 360 degrees evaluations. So this 360 degree evaluation provides performance feedbacks from all the employees full circle around in term of daily context. So it's more I think it's more fair, and it's also receive more information because it's asking in terms of evaluations, it's asking all those around the employees. If it's only managers provide the evaluations, then it's maybe this manager is affected by bias or by other unfair behaviors and so on. So 360 is more effective and more fair in terms of evaluations. So methods of performance evaluation can be in terms of written essay, can be in terms of critical incident, can be in terms of graphic rating scale, using behavioral anchored rating scales or bars, force comparisons, consists of these two ranking. So we're gonna go one by one. Basically, method of performance evaluations can be in terms of written skill. This is quite simple, where the employees are being asked to write a narrative about themselves in terms of strength, in terms of weaknesses, past performance, potentials, anything, for example, related to work, and also regarding the personal achievements. So this employee have been given to write essay about themselves. So no complex forms or extensive training is required, but the result often reflects the ability of the writer. So if the employees are good in terms of writing skill, in how to convince, how to argue in terms of their strengths, their opportunity, their abilities to do something, then it would influence the evaluations in terms of performance. Next is critical incident. The methods of performance evaluations can be through critical incidents, where the evaluations of the behavior is based on the differences between effective and ineffective. So focusing when the organization use critical incidents, they ask the candidates or they ask the employees to write about the behavior that can make a difference between effective or ineffective. For example, you mentioned between executing a job effectively and executing it ineffectively. So they want to know about these two critical incidents, the one that is performing the task effectively, the other one performing the task ineffectively. So they ask the employees to write the task performance that are important, they consider effective. The other one, they ask the employees to write the task or perform the task that considered ineffective. So describe what the employees did that was especially effective or ineffective. So they just want to know the difference between effective and ineffective, and they will decide based on this critical incident of two things, that's mean effective and ineffective. Another method that can be used is graphic rating scales based on the set of performance factors that been given, such as, for example, quantity, quality of work, depth of knowledge, cooperations, loyalty, attendance, honesty, and initiative. So the evaluator, that's mean either the managers, if they use the organization use 360 degrees evaluation, it can be from any one around the employees. The evaluators then goes down the list. So they give this list to the employees to rate, rate, and then the evaluators will rate each of these performance factor based on the incremental scale, such as Likert scale, for example, 1 to 5, 1 to 7. So they will rate the employees in terms of this quantity, whatever mentions here, based on whether it is high or low. For example, based on the Likert scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, 1 regarding to strongly disagree, 5 regarding to strongly agree, for example. So they are popular. This one, graphic rating scale, are considered popular because they are less time consuming to develop and administer, and allow for quantitative analysis and comparison, because they have more or less like a Likert scale, so easy for the evaluator to put mark. For example, quantity. For example, how much 1.45, how many the evaluations will be given. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is based on how the incremental scale they use. Force comparison is the evaluates the individual or the employees based on the performance against the performance of others. So they evaluate individual performance, the employees' performance based on by compared with the others' performance, with the others' employee performance. There's they compare this person employees that they evaluate with the others' performance, with the other employees' performance. So there are two types of force comparison. One is using group order ranking. The other one is individual ranking. So group order ranking is the group order ranking require the evaluator to place employees into particular classifications. So group order ranking, they group the performance of these employees based on the group order. So it can be, for example, top 1/5 or second 1/5 or third 1/5. So they group the rank, for example, and one of the among the 5 employees, how these specific employees consider performance in terms of 1 to 5 among 5 of the employees, how these specific employees are situated, whether it is a first 5 or third of the 5th rank, or first of the rank among all the 5. Individual ranking is the individual based on rank order employees. That's the manager or evaluator will put from best to worst. For example, if this employee is considered fall under best or worst, or in between, so they will put So individual ranking, they will put just between best or worst or in the middle. Group ranking, they will provide specific numbers for the group. For example, among 5 employees, how these employees are ranked among all these 5. Or if let's say they have 10 employees altogether, they will rank whether these employees belong to one which rank. Is it the 9 of the 10 or 7 of the 10 if they have 10 employees altogether? If they have 5, they will rank based on these 5. What is the position of these employees that they rank? So that's group of the ranking, individual based on just best to worst. So one parallel of force ranking is force distribution of college grades. So basically the CGPA or the GPA that normally university use can be said that similar to the force can be considered as can be similar to the force ranking. So this is basically the CGPA is more or less similar to the force ranking. So how to improve performance evaluations? The performance evaluation can be improved by using multiple evaluators, like in 360 degrees of evaluations. So as the numbers of evaluators increase, if let's say the evaluators been used multiple, like in 360 degrees evaluations, so the probability of attaining more accurate information also increase. So compared to if using one evaluator, such as using just manager, maybe this manager will be influenced by the bias, their prejudice, their bias, their maybe subjective perceptions, and so on. So if using many evaluators or multiple evaluators, the subjective bias of one individual can be spread across. So it just contribute small portions, not contributes significant portions to the marks or to the evaluation marks. And evaluate selectively. Another way to improve performance evaluation is to evaluate the candidates or the employees selectively. Sorry, I've been using the candidates. Candidate is not suitable because the employees already got hired, so it's no longer candidate. So it's better to use employees. So for recruitment, yes, it is okay to use candidates, or for selection it is okay to use candidates, but for evaluation, because the employees already got hired, so it's not suitable to use candidate anymore. So when throughout the slide, when I use candidate, it's referring to the employees. So evaluate selectively is referring to evaluate the employees selectively, perhaps to evaluate, let's say the employees are involving doing performance tasks in different areas. So it is important to evaluate the employees based on the areas that these employees performing the jobs, and which also the evaluators have some expertise. So if let's say the evaluators or the someone who evaluates do not have expertise in the area, if they evaluate, still be given responsibility to evaluate the employees based on the area that they didn't have the expertise, the evaluation may be inaccurately given. So it is important to evaluate the employees selectively based on the expertise of the evaluators. So appraisers or the evaluators should be as close as possible in terms of organizational levels to the individual being evaluated. So this basically explain it is important to be the evaluators or the appraisers must come from someone from the organizations that know the person and also have expertise in the area. Trains evaluators. It is important to, in order to improve performance evaluation, is to train the evaluators. Some evaluators or appraisers, they don't have the qualifications. They don't know how to evaluate the employees. So it is important to train the evaluators before asking them to evaluate the employees. So by training the evaluators can make them more accurate in terms of giving ratings to the employees, because the information that they give regarding the employees actually very important, because it will determine whether the employees will receive promotions, whether the employees will be terminated, or whether will be transferred to other branch or to other departments. So the decision, the decisions, the performance, the consequence of having performance evaluation is considered is significant. So it is important to train the evaluators in order to give the fair, the accurate evaluations.